we're not going to go home without the prize, right? Yeah.
Even if we got to steal it.
What's better than one reality show? According to Netflix, a crossover between 3 of their most popular series. The reality series has stars from Too Hot to Handle, The Circle, and Love is Blind, where they come together to compete in 3 separate challenges to win a grand prize. But fans were caught off guard as promotion for the game show seemingly came from nowhere. We'll help you gain more clarity on why Netflix decided to have these games, why certain castmates were chosen, how Francesca and Harry felt working together in a team, and if there's going to be more games in the future. The cast consists of 12 competitors, 4 from each of the 3 reality shows. At first glance, the team seemed to be made of an odd group of castmates, as not everyone were fan favorites or were on the same seasons. The most notable stars were Francesca and Harry from season 1 of Too Hot to Handle. Viewers were very surprised to find them competing alongside each other. They haven't been on the best of terms since first breaking up in July 2019, just a few months after they left the beach, seemingly in love, and even had a cute ring pop proposal moment in the reunion.
I've got you a ring pop.
They rekindled their romance in February 2020, but Francesca not too long after revealed that they had broken up once again because he was being disrespectful towards her online. The toxicity of their relationship luckily didn't follow them into the games, but even though they worked pretty well as a team in the challenges, you could tell there was tension between them. They would always stand far apart and avoid interactions with each other. Behind the scenes, though, they seemed a bit more friendly as Harry helped Francesca tie her shirt, while Chase filmed it in typical Chase fashion, by starting rumors as a joke that they are getting back together.
I'm reporting live behind the scenes. They're back together.
However, on TikTok, when asked about how awkward it was to see Harry again, Francesca willingly replied that it was the most awkward day of my life, to be honest, but that the awkward run-in was worth the check. We wonder what kind of paycheck would be enough for someone who never cared about losing money on the show in the first place to be around her famous ex. She even liked a comment roasting him that said, "Lana should have been the 4th team member instead of Harry." Meanwhile, Harry has not made any direct comments on Francesca. Seems like Frankie is still holding a grudge. It's safe to say that this team didn't hang out after the games were done. The only 2 that probably got along were Melinda and Francesca, as they made a cute TikTok together, but there hasn't been any photos of them going out for dinner afterwards or with the other competitors on the show. This might be because there's rivalry off-screen too. There were contestant passive-aggressive jabs coming at the Too Hot to Handle crew.
The talent that Too Hot has is being hot.
Including from the host Chrishell Stause herself.
Team Too Hot to Handle, you guys better listen up.
They would tell them to pay close attention as they're known to break rules.
I know you are not the best at following the rules.
And calling out their cheating antics as typical behavior for the people that don't follow instructions properly.
Because they're good looking doesn't mean you can't follow the rules.
When Francesca was unaware of what they had done wrong in the game, Lauren from Love is Blind gave her a side eye, saying, "Oh, you know what you did, Francesca."
What did we do?
Oh, you know what you did, Francesca. That seemed a little too personal, insinuating she knows exactly what she was doing. Fans have speculated that she was referencing her stunt, as well as when she showed up as Damien's date at the After the Altar reunion. Plus, after they accidentally cheated on the first round, the trash-talking behind their backs from the other teams began in the interview portions.
First time.
That's what you get for having false confidence.
The teams themselves have a personality of their own. Contestants from The Circle seem like the closest bunch, having made TikToks and posting cute family photos. The Love is Blind cast is a bit more tamed, with other teams even being slightly annoyed at how genuinely nice they are.
They're actually nice people.
Oh yeah.
And it makes me not like them.
The pair of married couples just seem so in love, showing some PDA here and there. Lauren and Cameron and Amber and Barnett were cast to bring the views in because they would work well together as a couple. They also help balance the incompatibility from the Too Hot to Handle cast, who get along for the most part, but because of the whole Francesca and Harry incident, none of them are very close. Some fans were actually disappointed that Season 2 fan favorites Cam and Emily were not invited to the games. After all, they would work together well as a team because they're a couple in real life. But that's probably because they live on the other side of the pond. Given how international that show is, they weren't really left with their best options. Most people were also annoyed to see Chase playing for the team because of his F-boy antics on the show, and that he was getting the attention he desperately craves.
They want to beat me so bad, look at them.
But in a challenge, his athletic abilities as a professional football player were quite helpful in rounds like tug-of-war. Given how strong the team is in the games, we'd say being hot is correlated to being in good shape physically too. Plus, well, if anything, every team needed to have an equal number of boys and girls, if not for their athletic abilities, so that's probably why he was chosen instead of Chloe, as fans would have preferred. They also cast based on commonality. It made sense to have the games only for their elimination-style reality shows. Plus, they're all 90s kids, so in the trivia portion of the second round, they would understand the questions relating to American pop culture in that time frame. That would have been harder for international audiences or older individuals.
Fair, we're 90s kids. You say boy band, it's either NSYNC or Backstreet Boys.
Meanwhile, Chrishell got to host because not only is she the star of another one of Netflix's hit reality shows, Selling Sunset, but she's also a huge reality TV fanatic.
I am a Netflix reality superfan myself.
In terms of logistics, each team met up separately in a large mansion before the show started and had incredible views of Malibu, as we see in The Circle's Sammy's vlog. And based on Francesca's hair alone, we know the show is filmed from at least as early as July, because her hair was dyed red after that. Plus, she's stuck in Canada right now due to passport issues, so there's no way she could have filmed it this past month. All 3 episodes were also filmed in a day. You can tell by the way they all still have the same hairstyles, and their face paint and accessories are all untouched from each round. That must have been one exhausting day, physically and emotionally. Unfortunately for the cast, the grand prize isn't true love or a large load of cash, but just a trophy and bragging rights. But they did receive a flat rate for participating, which we can imagine is a lot less stressful in comparison to their original shows. This means the games were really meant to be more of a fun experience than to capture juicy footage of drama. So why did Netflix decide to have a game show specifically for these reality series at this time? They likely needed extra promotion for their reality shows since they have already wrapped up, and due to COVID, they had delayed their production schedule. They needed a way to retain viewers' attention. These shows also found success in a similar time frame during the pandemic, and are relatively new, so it made sense for them to be a crossover. Fans seeing their favorite reality stars interact helps audiences make note that Netflix is the creator of these binge-worthy shows. With the success of the reality TV genre, we bet Netflix is going to create more interesting social experiments for us to watch. Plus, when fans watch one of their favorite reality stars, they may be curious about the contestants on the other shows. The ability to bring crossover viewership will likely be a trend, as we are already starting to see appearances of Francesca at Love is Blind's After the Altar, and Chloe, also from Too Hot to Handle, participating in The Circle. However, the games themselves don't seem to be gaining a lot of popularity, and the reviews haven't been the best. Critics have called it out for being innovative and reminiscent of the Disney Channel games, but they didn't have the budget for it. It disappointed fans by showing only 10-minute clips on YouTube, which seems more like a test trial for them to consider having another one. Seeing the lack of popularity in these games, another round of games is up for debate. This was an interesting crossover to watch, but perhaps they just needed a bigger budget to serve its maximum potential. Did you enjoy their first ever reality games? What other reality stars do you wish would have competed against each other? Let us know in the comments. Like this video if you want to stay up to date on the latest reality TV news, and we'll see you next time on The Things Reality.